Good day, Antheus Kaiset here with another episode of The Binding of Isaac Flash. I apologize if I feel a little bit sleepier than usual. Just woke up and to be honest with you, did not have a good enough sleep last night. Although to be honest, I've never really had a great relationship when it comes to sleep. I don't believe I've ever gotten a full 8 hours of sleep before. Although I guess not many people have. I always wake up around the 6-hour mark, me personally. So I can never really seem to get the full sleep that I've always wanted. There's always like a little bit extra. And then like it's because of that I have to take like a short nap in the afternoon. Which kind of does suck, but normally I get rested afterwards. Although I guess everybody does when they get a nice little nap. Anyways, I'm not even acknowledging the fact that we've already killed our boss, which is Famine. Also, I have been watching, well, in my own boredom, I have decided to at least rewatch some of the videos that I have done. And one thing I've personally noticed that I did not like was the speed of my voice. I think I speak a little bit too fast. So I'm going to try and speak a little bit slower than as per usual. Also, speaking of the dreams that I have been, well, I say lack thereof to be honest. Because most of the time when I sleep for about... Usually if I sleep and I only can get like what, roughly 3 hours of sleep, I will have a... Oh, wow, I actually died. Okay, let's just restart. I will usually have like a short dream of some kind. Book of Shadows or the Book of I think I'm gonna take Book of Shadows. It is a little better for Judas specifically. Yes, we will lose actually quite a bit of value from Book of Belial, but I think Book of Shadows is just slightly better. What was I saying? Oh yeah, but something about my dreams, and it's mostly that I will only get them if I have about 3 hours of sleep, and no more, no less, oddly enough. And they're usually some... I'll be honest with you, something about the human brain is very good at telling things. So normally, when I dream, this might sound disgusting, but I always, sometimes, not all the time, there's always some sort of piss involved. I think it's just the brain telling me that I need to use the bathroom when I'm sleeping. Which is weird because during the dream, I felt like it's completely normal to have. Like, oh yeah, this is just perfectly normal, perfectly fine. Instead of it being a little bit weird that I'm dreaming about said thing. And it never registers my brain. Although lucky enough, I don't believe I've ever had the misfortune of having pissed in my pants because of that. I think maybe that happened like twice, and even then it was like close but didn't really come into fruition, thankfully. The human body is really weird like that. Okay, I think I'm gonna use the tower, and I'm gonna hope that we can get at least most of the amount of money here. I think there was a tinted rock somewhere, but I would rather get some money like this. I think it's also a lot easier this way. Or I think I'm thinking of the last run that we had where oh wait, no, it's right here. Oh well, that's fine. We still got money. We can go on to the next floor and we'll mostly be fine. As I've also noticed about playing this game, because I've never paid attention to exactly and keeping track of what I have seen and what I haven't seen in this version of Isaac. I've noticed that there aren't things like trinkets and curses and the super secret room. This is as bare bones of an Isaac as I can get, I suppose. I'm gonna go into our shop first. We get Dead Sea Scrolls. I'm gonna take the card. It's full. It's not really helpful. And to be honest, I think I'm just gonna fight the boss and go down to the next floor. There's not really a reason to stay here as compared to the previous floors, since I doubt we'll get any benefit from staying. At most, maybe check the devil room, but I don't even know if I'm really willing to pay for anything with only one heart. I guess that's like the one downside of playing as Judas. We get dessert, which is nothing really. You know what? Let's go a little crazy. Let's take Ouija board, since that's the only thing we can afford. And head on down to the next floor. This should mostly be an easy run with Judas. I think most of runs with Judas will be fairly simple, since there's not... We get like high amounts of damage, and if we lose, well, so be it really. Silkworms can be a little dangerous, as demonstrated. Involuntarily, I might add, though. It's a bit scary now that we're down to only half of the red heart. I don't believe that we should have any difficulties, to be honest. Especially now with Book of Shadows keeping us alive. And like small rooms like this are perfect for the Book of Shadows. It feels like the Book of Shadows is also lasting a lot longer as compared to future installments, even though I think the duration is still 10 seconds. Which is still like a really long time to not get hit by things. Stars, you know what? I'm just gonna use it now. We get Mr. Boom? Yeah, that's Mr. Boom. Don't really have a need for Mr. Boom, or at least right now anyway. So far so good, although we have 1 HP. And not 1 HP in a dream. Although I did not have a dream last night. There was one dream that I had, I think, a couple of days ago. And I think it was that there was a group of people whom I don't really know, to be honest. But they were making a joke about waiters of some kind. I don't remember what exactly was going on. But it was during that dream where one of the people was making a joke at the waiter. I don't believe it was the exact waiter. And he said something like, oh, waiters will say this and that, blah, blah, blah. I don't really remember what was going on. You know what? I'm gonna fight this just in case it's a mini-boss. Because I think it'll be beneficial to get a little more. Or at least like one more charge for our Book of Shadows. So anyways, when he was making a joke about waiters, or maybe like at the expense of the waiter, in the dream, another waiter came up and said something. I don't really quite remember what he was saying. And then it only proved what the person who made the joke was saying for some reason. Does that dream make any sense? I don't think so. But that's how dreams are. They don't make sense when you're thinking about it, I suppose. But for some reason, during that whole dream, I had this constant... Okay, this is gonna sound very, very bad, to be honest, but I had a dream and the whole time I could think of was, oh no, I'm becoming French. I have nothing against French people, by the way. It was just something within that dream where I'm saying, oh no, I'm becoming French. I just thought that was a little humorous, though. Okay, there goes Peep with not much else. This one is simultaneously losing a lot and also not gaining a lot. I'm just gonna do this now. But at least like we have some HP to hinge off of. Oh, and here comes the benefit of Magneto, which just attracts consumables to you. It's not a very good item, But if you don't have things like flying, this can be very useful. Although can be kind of annoying if you're deliberately trying not to pick up certain items, which I think at least for Flash, I can't imagine any situation where I wouldn't want to pick up everything. There's our item room. I'm gonna make a prediction. The item will be Distant Admiration or Forever Alone. It's one of the two. Please be one of the two. Secret room? No, okay. Well, I guess we'll never know. I'd rather save it just in case we get a key, then we can go into our shop to buy a spirit heart, because that will be very beneficial. Please don't be bad trip. Well, I'm not sure if that's any better than bad trip. As crazy as it sounds, I'm gonna go inside here, and I think that's the right decision to make, because Gurdy is not that difficult of a boss. I say as I get hit and lose my devil deal. But he's not a difficult boss. He's very, honestly, very telegraphed. I probably should learn when to shut my mouth. And this comes the one downside of playing as Judas, where you just basically have no HP. Although I guess we will have like the same HP if we're playing as someone like Cain. If you have piercing shots of any kind, like Cupid's arrow, or like a tear effect like Brimstone, Gurdy's very simple since you can damage him and you can damage the little ants he spawns. But it looks like we're not dying today. Okay, I'm gonna try to look out for a key, and then we will see if we can get into our item room. Or maybe the shop would be better. I guess the shop would be better. Just grabbing the coins. I was thinking back on my discussion, well, I say discussion, but like that one video where I talked about reaction content and how I think like it's morally not good whatsoever, and that I myself will not stoop down too low. But then I was thinking more and more about it, and I was thinking, well, what is like connotates as reaction content? You know, sometimes like it can be very nice and informative, and sometimes it could just be nothing. And then I was thinking to myself, like, am I not doing reaction content myself? Because I am just reacting to whatever the game is telling me to do. Is it not all the same? And I think of other instances of reaction content, and I don't know how I managed to like connect this in my brain, but I was thinking, like, aren't radio hosts the same? They're just reacting to the world and then giving their own opinions on the radio that you listen to. So am I any better or am I any worse than all of those people who do mainly reaction content? And I guess it's also because I also don't really know what's going on behind the scenes and whatnot. So I believe that it is rude for me to say like, oh, it takes no effort. Like, there is some effort involved. I mean, I would consider what I'm doing no effort whatsoever. Just record and then you just start saying nonsense on the internet. So I don't believe like I'm in any position to talk about it, since I'm just reacting to whatever the game gives me. And okay, this is actually really bad. I need a key. And no key whatsoever. Well, this is the one floor where we don't have an item room or a shop. I don't think I've used my keys incorrectly either. Oh well, we've pretty much squeezed the entire floor's worth of goods. I mean, we got 4 spirit hearts from this one floor. So that's pretty nice. But yeah, I think that as much as I say like, oh, I don't like reaction content and whatnot, I feel like I'm guilty of it as well, based on whatever it is that I'm doing. And isn't life just about reacting to whatever happens to you, and then just regurgitating it out for others to see? I don't know what kind of connection I was making as well. Also, I hate these enemies so much. I don't think we'll... I think this run is... Oh, okay. It looks worse than it actually is. We got the Pentagram. We got Book of Shadows. The only thing holding me back is really foolish damage that I'm making. And Ouija board is doing some work, I suppose. Although, I guess thinking back, it's also a good thing that I didn't go for the Whore of Babylon. Because I think I would be dead by now. You know what? I'm just gonna use this now. As good as the run is, we're not exactly at peak performance just yet. You know what? I think we will be fine doing this. You know, it was not worth it whatsoever. I hope one day that I don't fall into making React content. Although I guess, as I mentioned, this is probably hypocritical because I am making React content right now. I'm just reacting whatever the game tells me. So who really is the reactor? Well, of course, though, like, no bad faith to people who actually make React content. In my opinion, you know, like, if it works, it works, and there's a reason why people do it. I just won't do it myself. And I think that's like the ground where I can stand on. Where I will at least try my best not to make anything. Anything that's related, that's like React content, as best as I can. Okay, still no keys on this run, which is still a little concerning. I don't remember what that pill is, but we have enough bombs to justify this. Okay, I don't know what this is. They couldn't even let me down slowly. Okay, I think for rooms like this, where it can be a little bit difficult to fight certain enemies like silkworms, I think using the Book of Shadows like this is about as good of a use as any. I don't know why, but my guess for the boss of this floor is Monstro. And I can't really put a finger on that why. I just think that the boss will be Monstro. And I'm gonna... Not having a key really sucks. I'm gonna play this slot machine. And I'm gonna hope for a key. A key of some kind. A key of any kind, if you will. And the game doesn't let me have it. What's this pill? It's Telepills. Oh! Put me in the item room anyway. And we got a new item, Technology. Which is basically piercing shots as well. And it shoots in a straight line. Definitely one of the best tier effects that you can get. Also, it's just really fun. Of course, though, since this is before Repentance, the laser shoots in a straight line. Okay, well, it was unfortunately not Monstro, too. But it was a war. I wonder how fun it would be to actually ride on a pony like that. Although I've been like thinking about how people want flying cars and stuff, all I can think about is how awful that would be for if it was actually implemented. Because with all the airplanes, you would have air traffic control. If you have a bunch of cars flying about everywhere, I feel like it would be incredibly difficult to actually make it work. Since you have to deal with all the air traffic control. Ooh. I love Monster Manuel, but I'm gonna go Brimstone because it's more fun. Oh, and I'm dead. I don't even know how I died. I thought I had enough HP. I don't know why I died from that. Because I had 2 hearts. Oh, you know what? I think that's just a nice way to end it. A bit of a disappointment, but oh well, what can you do? Sometimes you'll have short runs like these. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Later!